Greetings, survivors and friends. Welcome to the weekly itching of your rusty scratch. And first up, I have some exclusive first footage of the minicopter, or whatever you want to call it, which is being developed on a separate branch that you can't access, so curb your enthusiasm for getting to the chopper just yet. However, I spoke with Helt last night and he hit me with a few facts, namely the flight controls aren't finalised yet, although from this footage at the moment it looks like it's behaving the same as the Chinook. It'll likely be uncraftable but findable like the hot air balloon. It'll work off of low grade and have 2 seats with the pilot at the back and the gunner sitting at the front, being the only one who can flash some steel if he wants. Also, it'll likely have similar health to an attack chopper, taking the same amount of firepower to bring down, but SAM sites will target it, so you might want to invest in one of those at some point. We've still got 2 weeks of development until the next patch on February 7th, so there's a good chance that it'll touch down in that one, but I will of course keep you firmly in the loop here, so make sure you're subscribed. Hey! Talking of transport, the ultimate form could finally be happening. A test animation for horse riding was posted to Twitter this week, and although it was emphasised that this is just R&D at the moment, it certainly doesn't appear to be a spur-of-the-moment thing. I'm much more excited about this one than boring old helicopters, of course, and anything that brings us a step closer to pies in Rust makes me sit up and take notice. I mean, how else are we going to tame them? Stay tuned for more on this one as I get it. Now we need to talk about performance. The elephant in the room holding the hot potato of optimization that everyone wants to get their greasy hands on. Or something like that. Over the last week, a concerted effort has been going on to improve both server and client performance across the board, with many commits related to it, a lot of which I don't really understand. However, some to take note of are that turrets will now be using triggers instead of overlapping spheres to function, hot air balloons go to sleep properly, and most importantly, the EAC log file on servers has been set to clear on each server start. This was identified as a potential source of poor performance, as it could grow rather large on popular servers, causing them to be less popular. Rustified tried clearing the EAC logs on all of their servers and found that it made a big difference, so hopefully this will help everyone to some degree. Another set of enhancements that have been pushed to official staging servers now, if you want to test them out, are some that improve entity streaming. So what's that? Well, basically, as you move around the world, entities need to be created in front of you and removed behind you. This can cause some major frame drops. Entity streaming has therefore been optimized so that it happens over a longer period of time and doesn't overwhelm the client. Also, the overhead for every entity that's created was optimized, primarily with multi-box broad phase, skin-related components, and garbage collections. Something else to mention, especially if you're a modder, is that the receiving data step in the loading screen has been optimized when respawning, so that now it sends a delta update with only the new entities instead of a full snapshot. The long shot of this is that it makes respawning in your base after getting killed nearly instant, and makes a lot of workarounds that modders had to rely on obsolete. Smashing! Multiple rad towns are getting a lighting overhaul at the moment. I showed you the military tunnels a while back, for instance. The latest one being worked on is the compound, and you'll be pleased to know that the chill zone in particular is looking very inviting now. Not sure exactly when all this is going to be live just yet. The military tunnels lighting might be merged in the next patch, but the priority right now is the oil rig. We have 2 new items modelled, the first being this, a detonator that detonates something. Not quite sure what yet. I mean, whether it'll be for an existing explosive like C4 or something altogether new. I haven't been able to find out yet. It might be a surprise for later, but I'll let you know. And finally, a new electricity-related item that will be arriving at some point is this, the Waterwheel Generator, or giant hamster wheel, depending on which side of it you're on and whether you drew the short straw. There's not an awful lot known about how it'll be used yet. The obvious option would be to jam it in a river somewhere and reap nature's bounteous free energy, although it could also be run manually by one of your slaves. I mean, clan members, but we won't know until it rolls around, so stay tuned for more news on this too. Thanks for watching this week. Please stick your thumb up, wiggle the subscribe button with it, and kick the bell into submission for what good it'll do. I'll be grateful if you could follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and my Steam group too, and I shall catch you all soon. But in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio.